Testing. Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Welcome to Live Vibe Coding with Will Melton. I'm Will Melton, your host, and we are going to build something really cool today. I hope you're staying cool and staying inside. I'm going to get my music going here. Make sure we're not overpowering you guys there. And I'm in the studio today. We had a good time last night, first Fridays. We did a block party for Channel RVA, and my monitor is over here. So if you see me looking off screen, it's so that I can see my chat window, which I'm going to go get. Get my mouse over there. All right, so I'm going to bring my chat over to my window right in front of me so I can see you guys today. But I'm going to have to toggle back and forth so that I can take a look at my screen and make sure I don't lose anything over here. But if you're joining me for the very first time, I build an app a week. I build more than that, but I just happen to uh, goal for one app a week. And so this is a place where you can go to follow along on my journey. I'm a little bit delinquent in getting this stuff updated. So I have a backlog of apps that we need to add into this. It says we've got 34 here. I've got at least 6 more to add. And so, and we'll be having more to add to it as we finish some client builds as well. So, in any event, you check that out there. You can also follow along on channelrva.com. Those are the few places that I stream live. Streaming live on studio.willmelton.com. I'm also streaming live on Channel RVA. Although I'm noticing, as I look at it, that I don't see my LVC thing in the menu right now. So what I shall do is start our session off by just fixing a little problem here. Boom, this is it. Been waiting for this. Holy smokes, guys, this is awesome. This is so awesome. This might change the trajectory of things today. Turn your live app into an MCP server. Just call. Yes. All right. All right. So some things I have been not building that I started, like my Hermes agent, partly because I know that those things are going to evolve, and here it is. It's telling me right now. Yes, this changes everything. I'm just reading this, but basically what we're going to be able to do is build apps that have specific purposes. There'll be databases, there'll be functions that will connect different things together. And I don't understand why my camera is not centered. Let me just fix that really quick. You guys pay a lot of money to see me over here. Okay, well, I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'll figure out. I'll just be half off screen here today. Oh my gosh, used to technology. The answer here is we're going to be able to do a lot to query these databases, to activate them, to do different things. We're going to be able to create agents that basically do security work. Potentially, there's a lot of things that we're going to be able to do with this. Okay. So I'm driving crazy. Let me get back over to waiting screen, and I'm going to bring this into view for myself so I can fix this screen. So give me 1 minute, please. All right, so I'm in view here. I'm just going to group these guys, put myself into the view. And then I feel like you guys can't see all of this, right? Just move this back over here and see how that looks. All right, well, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully you guys can see enough of my screen today. So let's get to the build that we're going to do. That's what I really want to do is create this application that is going to help us bring a robot to Richmond. So this is going to be a website. It's going to be a reservation site. I'm going to talk to my phone. So today we want to build a project that allows us to successfully earn enough reservations to justify buying an autonomous, not an autonomous, but a humanoid robot. And let's see, how do we want to think about this? We need to do everything. We're going to be using a high-powered model to really think through a lot of things, but what I want to start with is just the marketing website. It's going to be wired up to Stripe to take reservations, deposits, and and just be a marketing website in general. We'll use it to promote this idea, and I'm not going to dictate too much of what the website needs to have because we're going to build upon it. But ultimately, what we're going to do is give people an opportunity. We're going to tell them the story, let them know that we're going to buy a robot if we can get enough reservations to be able to meet the demand requirement. And we're going to take $100 as a deposit from everybody who says they want to do this. We'll define the price of the reservation. We'll even build in an AI tool that lets them tell us what their business is, and it'll give ideas for ways that the robot could be used for a marketing purpose to generate return on investment. Some other things that we're going to ultimately do is we want to deploy a sales force, and so I want to go ahead and start from the beginning with commissions built in and make it sort of an affiliate model where people can use their code to send people our way and capture a percentage of the revenue that's generated from that transaction. Some things of importance. I want to just handle the rental aspect of here. When we, whatever the economics of this are, we just want to find out what it costs to rent the thing. The marketing strategy piece is going to be a separate thing altogether, and some people can bring their own strategy. They can hire us, but ultimately they just want to handle the rentals. The robot needs to stand on its own from an economics perspective. And so first thing to do is to give me a prompt for a website that can help us get there. So we'll stop there. Now what I'm going to do is, let me go get this voice memo really quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a prompt for this. I'm going to go to Lovable. I'm going to do this a little bit faster than I normally do, and I'm going to paste in this. I'm not going to hit send yet. I'm going to go to Claude. I'm going to go to my projects, go to my live coding project. I already have a...
Subscribe at channelrva.com.
Okay, now what I'm going to do, I already have some context in here because I told this what we're building today, and I gave it my screenshot. Oh, I gave it a video? Okay, that doesn't make any sense, but whatever. I intended to give it a screenshot, but I gave it. Maybe it saw that, maybe it didn't. I don't remember if Claude can analyze it. It didn't say anything about whether it actually watched the video. But this is going to give me a Lovable prompt that I will paste into Lovable. And while I do that, I'm just going to have to go back to my phone and say, what we need to do today is the whole business. We need to create the business plan, the economic model. What are we going to charge people? What's going to be the smartest way to get this robot rented out by day, by task? You know, if we have a robot that's out on the streets talking to people or interacting with people, obviously we're going to have staff that's affiliated with that to make sure it can be managed appropriately. So there's different dynamics that we need to take into account. Obviously, we're going to build a website. We need to create the contract that's going to be used to accept the reservations, and it's going to be basically, you know, we'll give you your money back on the deposit if we don't meet our threshold. We need to determine what the appropriate threshold is going to be. These initial reservations are going to determine the demand of these robots. They're only going to be novel for a little bit before you start seeing them in more places, so we need to make sure that we can think about how we can get the most out of them. Obviously, the media attention that they're going to get is going to be interesting. We can leverage it for channel RVA, but it also, we need to generate additional reservations once we get the robot. But I'm not sure what the threshold needs to be. This thing is kind of crazy, but I was looking at them, and I need to find out which robot to get to. What's the best robot for this? And I need to figure out maybe some different ways to extend as well. So the basic rental, not necessarily the marketing services right now, but the you know, I don't know what other accessories or different things that would be, you know, associated with probably T-shirts or some kind of graphics. I guess that's all part of the marketing stuff. It could be interesting to have some of that stuff. Just general, we need to come up with ideas. That's all I'm trying to ask for right now. Let's see, what else do we want to do? We need to think about the risk aspect of it, make sure we have our insurance areas covered. So yeah, anyway, I wanted to get this robot, and this is the best way I know how to do it. And you know, the part of the fun here is that we're doing this with nothing. We're just using some Lovable credits to be able to get there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we can be successful with this. We can, well, I don't think so. I know so. This is the thing that we are demonstrating to the world, is that if you have an idea, you don't necessarily always have to have the money. You have to have the willingness to think beyond possibly, you know, the impossibility, the barrier that you have. If money's your barrier, creativity is your, you know, sword, if you will, in that battle. And you know, it's a game at the end of the day, so we get to play it, and this is our way of doing that. So let's have fun. All right, so I've got that transcript, and this is a pretty light context window, so I'm gonna move this out of the project. I'm gonna switch my model over to Fable 5. It's only out until July 7th. There's only a few more days left, so you gotta get something out of it. I didn't know that this is what I was gonna be doing today, but it is what I'm doing today. And I was thinking last night, man, I don't know that I'm going to be able to really get any value out of this. And I'm probably skipping over some really smart abilities that I could do with this. And maybe what I'll do actually as I think about it is I need to get what I can out of it. So I'm going to send Fable off onto all right, so I probably didn't need to be on high, but whatever. See what it can do. Oh, that's the default. Okay, that's fine. I don't need to be on extra or max. Okay, sweet. So it's already telling me what robot to buy. Okay. Robot Studio. There's other people doing this, of course. We're gonna need to be in the middle area here. I was already kind of thinking about $1,000 a day. Man, this is gonna be so cool. I have no competition. Yeah, I think unless somebody wants to take up arms against me, it's actually, you know, people believe that competition is not a good thing. People don't tell other people about their ideas because they're afraid that people are going to steal their ideas. But here, this is one I want you to steal. I want you to take this idea. I want you to go build this. Take this video transcript and dump it into Claude and see if you can create a business faster than I can with the same model, or go buy your robot and start running it out right away. I think that'd be interesting. And I'm going to just be checking out my speed over here, make sure that we are keeping up with you guys. I think I'm a little bit lagged, but it's not slow at least, which is what I'm keeping an eye on. Robot reserve. We call this thing. $15's a low barrier. $120 days. I hope we can do it a lot faster than that. I think we can do it in 30 days. I have insurance already. All right. This business will generate money.
I love K-Pop. Die größten K-Pop-Hits der Welt. Right now.
You're tuned into Channel
And this
RVA,
is Channel RVA
the
Production,
media
so I'll
hub for
hop over to
independent
Channel
creators.
RVA and see. Oh, wow, look at
Subscribe
that.
at
We are live.
channelrva.com.
I didn't even get into this. I think it was just late to pick it up.
Mit BTS.
But yeah, Channel RVA is a little project that I've been working on. This is an AI-powered news engine. It's not entirely AI-powered. There's still people manning the deck over here, primarily me. But let's do trivia. I knew I'd get that one right. I just got 5 points. I got 5 street cred. Sorry. And if you want to play along, if you're here in the Richmond market, you want to learn more about Richmond, you want to have fun, come over here and create an account in Channel RVA and play along with me. There is this whole street cred thing where you represent your neighborhood and you get to earn some points for that. For all the things that you do, for plugging into the community, playing games, opening up and clicking links in your daily newsletter, and it all is designed to connect you back to Richmond. So I encourage you to check it out and to play around. This is the way that people get invited to our first Friday block parties. And this is a playground for me. This is a place where I've really kind of thought to myself, what would it take to build a new era media company without, from the ground up. So we've got our games, we've got a lot of different things, a lot of original content coming to the world. And I'm the only one playing over here. So let's get some folks in here and tell me what you think about these games. We've got feedback over here that you can give us. Let me just make sure. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. I know you've been here for a minute now, but I'm in the studio today, and my chat is buried behind my browser, so I can see you there. But let's see. I'm working on this crazy robot plan. Probably been seeing all of this, but took a little break there to plug the platform that is near and dear to my heart, and in many ways central to our business at Exponent 21. And I could talk about that a little bit here in a minute, but I'm going to get some things going. I'm going to read the rest of this build. I want you to help me think about the marketing mechanisms on the website that are going to help me do this in record time. Like I said, I want to do it in less than 30 days. What functions are the website going to serve? What marketing mechanisms can I use to get this out there quickly, including the affiliate program? I'm trying to think of how else you might be able to help me today. We are 24 minutes into a 1-hour coding block, and we're live. I want to show our guests the power that you possess. If you want to do multiple things and give me a few outputs, that would be fine too. So we're using Fable 5 today for some of our work, not all of it. And I'm going to try not to switch too much here because it's going to get me confused and slow me down. Don't want to slow down. Public countdown, scarcity engine, yes. Just reading through this marketing plan here. Live activity feed. Yeah. The video hero. The video hero. Okay. So you guys are watching me do this live, so I need you to, if you're not going to steal this idea from me and run and go make a competing business, I need your help. Either come and rent this robot from me and give me a deposit when we build this thing, and it'll take me until tomorrow to finish this, but or be an affiliate and help me lock in people who are going to come and get this. This is, if you were not joining me earlier, this is an attempt to start a business with no money. I'm using some tokens in Lovable and Claude, so I do have some baseline investment, but that investment would have been made anyway. So credits and tokens and Lovable, maybe not, but we're not using that many. This is a light build relative to some of the things that I've been making relative to Channel RVA. So I've got many apps inside of Channel RVA that are the size of this one. So, all right, let's see. Multiple redundant paths to 15. So, one of the things I've been talking a lot about lately is just this belief system that we need to build, that we can do anything. And I hope to demonstrate this to you guys because I've done a lot of crazy things, and I've set goals for myself that I didn't think I could hit. I can't say that this is one of them. This is actually one of the more realistic goals that I've set. I have a pretty large network. I had a conversation with Jonathan Bowman, my good friend from CBS 6, a couple days ago, and a friend of his, and we were talking about this, and they liked the idea. I almost bought this robot anyway without this, but I think what I aim to do with today's build is to show people that you can do this yourself. You have to have a little creativity. You have to be willing to recognize that the answer is not going to come to you quickly, and it's going to take a little bit of work with these, robots, these machines, these agents to be able to get to that place. All right. Give me a name for this because it's asking for that right now, and then give me the follow-up prompt. As far as this is for Richmond, but I don't want it to be Richmond based because this business can grow a lot bigger. Okay. Somehow my brain just isn't that creative today. I've thought about this a lot today, so I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting it out. All right, so the other thing that I found out today is that we can connect Claude now to our projects in Lovable, and I am so excited about that. I'm gonna go over there in just a minute. Oh yeah, okay. I connected GoDaddy before, and I totally forgot that I connected it to Claude, and so it's now going to go do some research. And this is actually really good because this is one of the things that I would do anyway when I name a business or a project. I'm trying to come up with something that I have a domain that I can buy for. All right. Look the bot. I like that. Okay. I might hold off on giving this prompt to Lovable. Do you have the ability to buy the domain for me? I've never had an agent buy anything for me before, but let me see if I can't get it to do that. No, I didn't say. Can you buy it?
You're tuned into Channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
I already forgot what it was. come back to that. All right. We got the follow-up level prompt. It's asking me, okay. I'm buying the domain. Let's think about the rest of the business. What haven't we covered yet? While Lovable builds, I want to find the most efficient way for us to work with you so that we can do the most in 30 minutes that's possible. One of the things that I'm demonstrating with this program is that the space between imagination and a finished product or a demonstration is very tiny. I do a lot in the digital world, so this is very natural to me. It's something I've done for many, many years. I'm just now able to use AI to do it much faster than I ever was able to before. And then, you know, of course, I get this situation here where I'm exposed to a new power and I have to think, you know, about how to use it. I'll probably not think too much on this call or this session about it because it is, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in there, and I'll be able to leave this when I'm not talking to you guys and think a little bit more about it tonight and maybe do something a little bit more with it tomorrow. Actually, I have an idea right now. One of the problems that I have is I have code that I replicate to just about every project, and it takes a good bit of tokens and effort to get there. It's the product roadmap. It's really helpful to me in enabling me to build faster, but it just seems to be a big time suck, and then I get inconsistent results when I install it because I'm using like a SDK deployer prompt inside of the Lovable project. Is there any way that this connector can help us with that? Oh, you know what, guys? I don't think I said Happy 4th of July. And absolutely want to acknowledge the 250 years since our nation's founding. So I'll plug in my laptop to make sure that it doesn't die in the middle of this session. Bear with me while I do that. All right. And it ended up not being the plug I thought I was going to go for. All right. Okay. So all right, since you're giving me some good ideas, we've been building Spaceport and all of the CARL apps and Exponent 21 apps. And it's a lot of work connecting those together. How can we think about that? And how do we maybe think about like a dashboard or leveraging what we've already built to be a dashboard for managing all of this stuff? Sounds like we're going to be able to, I mean, I don't know, like this is a lot to take in. There's been a real urge. I've had a real urge to build a lot of things, and it gives me a lot of experience and knowledge across a lot of different domains, and I really enjoy that. But there are things that I've built that have been really hard, like the Hermes agent that I tried to build that I didn't finish because it ended up not really being a Hermes agent after all. It was just a lovable app that pretended to be a Hermes agent, and I could have kept going with it. And it actually is talking about that right now. I've also built, or started building something in the spaceport called, I don't know if it's there anymore, but It's called Task Cer, and it's it's designed to give me a little app on my phone that I can record my voice, and it will automatically send it to Task Cer. And Task Cer is supposed to be responsible for capturing it, assessing what it's for, and then putting it in the right place to be managed at a subsequent time or by an agent. And I'm just wondering if there's some way. Oh gosh, I just closed out of the thing. I forgot the Claude sucks. It doesn't suck. It's just I have to remember which application I'm using. Is it possible that for Spaceport and CARL apps that we could tie these things? Sorry, no. What I want to do is think about Task Cer. I've been thinking about taking meeting notes, transcripts. I think we already have a work plan for this somewhere. To basically capture voice memos and transcripts and dump them into this so that things can be basically automatically, Task Cer's responsibility is automatically assessing what the thing is and moving it to a place to be managed later or by an agent. It's just, there's a lot of manual work still in taking all of these transcripts and thoughts and ideas and conversations and moving them to where they need to be. We've built more or less applications that process all that stuff already. It's just a matter of getting it out of where it is, moving it into where it needs to be. It's always the problem, seems to be. All right. So I'm in that territory of working on two things at once because I had an idea, and let's see what that says. All right, so gaps remaining. The lead time problem most urgent. Thank you. Ships from China in 4 to 8 weeks. Are there any other robots that are not coming from China that we might think about? I know you did the research on what the best robot was, but I don't know that the price is the most important piece. I think we can increase the price on reservations if the price of the robot goes up, or we can take less profit. That's, you know, just that's first place. We want to reduce the time to delivery. Talk to humans and buy things. All right, so it wants me to finish the domain purchase, so I'll go ahead and do that. I have a domain in the cart. I'm just going to get this for $2 right now. Continue to the cart. I don't need domain protection. I do all this stuff publicly. You guys already know who I am. You know, one of the things that I like about this is I struggle sometimes to follow through on all the steps that are required to get something done. I would be so productive. I would get so many more things done if I could do that well. But my active brain prevents me from being able to do that. All right. Just tell it to go. Wait, stop. I forgot that I asked it a question.
You're tuned into channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
It sounds like it would behoove us to develop a relationship with the manufacturer of the G1 so that we can become a distributor ourselves once we generate the buzz from this. There's no reason not to leverage every aspect of our visibility for what we're doing. You know, it's interesting. I've been starting to get people asking me if they can buy the Richmond water refill stations, and we've really had a rental and management model only, but it's yeah, something I need to think about because we can make that happen. All right, got the domain. DM your 5 warmest prospects right now and 1 line teaser. I'm buying a humanoid robot for rent. 15. All right, I don't want to do that. Do I think that I like Claude. I said it sucks earlier. I was lying. And, you know, I didn't even have to go very far. I could just open up LinkedIn, and the first face I saw is somebody that I want to ask about this. All right, that's one person. Let's see what else I have in my messages. I've never done this before. This is a really interesting way to think about getting things done.
Summer is now. Mit I Love the Sun. This is I Love Chill Hop.
I'm technically announcing this right now, but it's okay. Get stuff backlogged. Got people waiting on me to get back to them. I'm going to have to get back to that here pretty soon. So I've sent this to 3 people now. Got my 4th coming. Let me make sure that Lovable's doing its job. All right, so I got to scroll up and get this prompt. What is this? I bet I know if you... Wow, that's really interesting. I copied this and pasted it into Lovable, but I also pasted it into a message to somebody. So gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, sent my 5 messages, so we'll see how that goes. The build is content. The build is content. Okay. let's get back on track. I've done all through buying the domain and talking to my people. I need to focus because we have 15 minutes left. All right. Oh, it's working right now. Please go get the email addresses for our distributor quote request. All right, so building a website that's going to promote robots. All right, move. Let's go. This site sucks. I'll have to do some work on the design of it. Check out channelrva.com if you're new to this program. This is the home for live vibe coding with Will Melton. We're building something new, something fun, something interesting, something that gets you active, gets you involved. A lot going on over there. Okay, so let's see. We got our domain. You know, it's so funny because normally I wouldn't be filling this out.
You're tuned into channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
Okay. There's one down. Let's see what else we have. Please give me the full contract output. I'm going to switch to Sonnet here because I don't need all that power. Let me go back and find these email addresses. But, you know, when you think about it, this is what you've got to do if you want anything to happen. I just don't ever move this fast. It seems a bit unnatural to be representing myself in this way, but it is. Okay, so I think I've done my job now. All right, it knows how much time's left. Cool. All right, so let's give me the whole contract. All right, more models. Going back to Fable 5. Thank you. What's next? Here's the thing, I already got my first message back from my marketing. So, you know, this is kind of interesting. This is a little bit of an evolution. You know, come to the studio, leave my house, and not only are we building a website to help us build a business, we're actually making the connections that we need to make the business successful. If we can actually demonstrate to you guys that we can do this in 30 days, that's going to be kind of crazy. All right. All right. Some of this stuff I'm going to do offline because I've got to go get some contacts and I just don't want to expose anybody's information there. Let's go ahead and do the next batch of work. I've got 5 minutes left. Okay, so we are making the fastest progress on a build that I've ever seen. I've never done anything this fast before. But, you know, why not? And I'm just teeing all these things up. I'll come back and do a roadmap later for that project. It's just going to slow me down if I do it. And I'm gonna work a little bit longer than an hour today, just because this is a fun build. If you're hanging out with me still, thank you for hanging out with me on 4th of July. I know that it is a beautiful 250 years of America's independence. Hopefully we maintain it. But yeah, we're having a great time building some interesting things. What an ugly website. No offense, Robot Shop. All right. Next, keep going. We're using Fable today, so what am I not thinking about? We need to engage me in a conversation about how we can. I mean, maybe we're already doing what we need to do to be successful, but what are we not thinking about? Facebook today. All right. I feel like having 3 days of Fable and new MCP connector for Claude and Lovable is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. All right. I'm mainly interested in thinking about how we can leverage both the MCP and manage all of our many apps in Lovable. Oof, terrible transcription. All right, you can rent the robot before you own one, and you're not using that.
It's 2 o'clock.
You're tuned into channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
We should have done competitive research before we did anything else. This is going to change our pricing pretty dramatically. Think about that now. I still want to do this. We need a robot here in Richmond all the time.
kurzer Break. Die kostenlose Streaming-App für Charts, Dance, Hip-Hop und Throwbacks. Immer neue Playlisten, immer live gestreamt. Mit I Love Radio und vielen weiteren Non-Stop-Music-Channels. I love music.
I think we need the EDU version. All right, so got our between the not wanting to launch a counter with 0 and these other changes that we need to make, let's give one prompt to Lovable that gets us there. I think we need to think about the dog and have a site that actually looks like a site that you can rent from, like see the rental site. Oh, this is done. It's doing it again. I think we need to have a site that is, or like a section of the site that's like browse the rental site, and then we can show people the dog. We can show them the other options that are available. That way they can see the pricing, they can kind of see what they're getting into. We can have a couple of different versions of the robot available. The R1 Basic just shows up, not really that good, and then the EDU version. Because if we're going to do real business, we might as well plan to have multiple robots. This is what happens when you start businesses. You can't start a toy. You gotta start a real business. So you start thinking about, well, what's this business look like long term? It's not what I wanted to do. All right. Let's see. What are we doing here? All right, so some things that I'm going to do offline because I can't share my screen to do it, and I cannot see the monitor that's sitting on the other table over there. I'm going to send an email out to some folks. I'm going to go use my contact engine that I built, probe it for names that I can use. I'm not going to do that today because today is July 4th. Probably send that on tomorrow. I'm also going to wire up Stripe so that I can get my Stripe keys going so we can start capturing this. I think I need to get these reserved in like less than 30 days so that I can make it real. All right, what are we doing? What's this say? Not doing anything here. This is done. Give that over here. Let's pretend that we are going to get bank financing for this. I want to put together a business plan that shows the maybe 3 paths. One that's kind of like your sub successful outcome, one that is your likely scenario, one that's highly successful. Nothing fabricated, just a typical business plan that justifies the investment. I am going to finance this, but it's worth wondering whether or not let me start over. I don't need to self-finance it. I could go get bank money, make that part of the equation.
You're tuned into channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators. Subscribe at channelrva.com.
Here's the thing. The biggest differentiator, I suspect, with something like this is that we're going to have to pay for delivery. Yeah. These rental amounts. Okay, so they have a minimum 1 month rental, so the model that we're going with is very different. I can't rent just a single day. So this is doing its work over here, doing this big old business plan. And let's see. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay, gotta go read this article now. Gosh, so much work. So much work. Okay. All right. Exciting times, guys. Exciting times. There's a reason why I do this work. I don't always know why. Spend my weekends coding, but I do know now. I'm finding out stuff before the people, which I knew in this article came out. All right. Well, since we're over here, let's take a look at this plan here. Okay. On the creative production, it could be a t-shirt or a sign that it holds. It needs to do something. We need to plan and script it. We also need to capture video of the bots, robots, so that we can provide that to the business for their own marketing purposes. So I think there's a lot of things that we could do. I'm eventually going to connect this project to Lovable so that you can go and tell it what to do, but I'm just thinking about all the things here. So I still think that we should do daily rentals. Yeah, we're not competing with them. I think it's interesting to think about the fact that I could rent the robot for a month and um, sub rent it out to other people before buying. But from an economic standpoint, wouldn't it make more sense just to send that off toward our own ownership? All right, so just quickly, I'm gonna switch over my camera here really quickly. Remind you to go over to studio.willmelton.com. And let's see. All right. I'm getting kind of at the end of my build session. I have a little bit of chores to do today, cleaning up from our party from last night. But I did want to just, before we wrap up, let me see where we're at with our Lovable build. I need you to go get images. And I thought we were planning to put a video in the hero. I don't see any video. There's no images or anything on this. It's all just text-based. We need to really make it shine. There's no real logo. There's no intention to detail on the design of the site.
You're tuned into channel RVA, the media hub for independent creators.
We didn't really give any design direction to Lovable, and it's just a boring, flat blue and white text on black site. I need to really lean in. But I'm gonna, you guys see this next, it's gonna be different looking. It's not quite the same. And that's fun. So hopefully you enjoyed today's build. As I reach my energy slump of the day, I will let you know to come and hang out with me tomorrow at 10 a.m. for a continuation of this build. I'll likely be from my home studio. And I'm probably going to do a little bit of work on this here through the rest of the day, but I don't think it's going to be that much. So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to show folks in the world how you can start a business with just about nothing and make it happen. I hope you guys have a great 4th of July. I hope you have a great weekend. Stay cool. I know it's hot out there. Stay hydrated. Stay in the shade. Put sunscreen on. All the important things. Make sure your cell phone is charged up in case you need to call somebody for help if you get overheated. It's that serious. And visit channelrva.com and subscribe over there if you're in the Richmond market. Thanks so much. Have a great one.